All right, concrete's in. It's time to start flying on this project. Let's check it out. Entranceway. This is the finished concrete for the entrance. We see the radiant floor topping mix throughout the main floor. I love the stage because now we get to work on the clean canvas. This is where we start building the character of the inside of the house. Basement's beautiful. Nice, finished, flat area to work with. What's next? Well, let's get some walls up. Exterior walls can start going up along here. Now that the insulation is already installed, we just simply install our walls right in front of it, leave a bit of airspace, plus 2x4 walls. We'll have our fire blocking all along here, similar to right here. This wall will continue right to the end. Notice how our fire blocking is already halfway installed. No need to cover that extra gap. If we go back to one of the first videos we shot in this project, remember that 2x12 material? That's it. All we gotta do is extend it with another 2x4. Now we have a full fire stopping for the entire basement. And that's why we use an extra big ledger board at the top for the fire stopping purpose right at the foundation stage. All the current walls that you see in the basement, they are built on top of the strip footings. Now those strip footings serve as a purpose for structural reasons. The rest of the walls can be built right over top of the basement slab. For example, I'm standing in the washroom right now. It'll be a 5-foot offset from that. From this wall here, it'll be a 5-foot offset, and we'll be nailing on our wall straight over top of the newly poured concrete right here. The rest of it also, to segregate this bedroom off, we'll have another wall right here. Simply build it right over top of this concrete. In about 2 days or so, the entire house will be all back framed, fire stopped, and we'll get to see the real shape of the house. After that, we can do some serious rough-ins. So as we wait for the framers to finish off, I'm gonna start getting the spray foam guys in here, give them a walkthrough, identify the areas where he's gonna be spray foaming, and after that, it's gonna be crazy, crazy race to the finish, starting with all the rough-ins. Next guy will be coming in, the electrician, the lights, sprinkler guys, vacuum guys, all the works. Let's check it out later. Yeah, walking up here after the topping's been put on, it's a much more quieter environment. You don't hear as much reverberations through the floor. The owners are definitely gonna appreciate this kind of a floor assembly. All right, so who goes first? Typically, HVAC guy. Why? Because he's got the biggest footprint when it comes to the roughing. Let's check it out. So because he goes first, he gets first choice of where he wants to run his ductwork because he does not get interrupted by any of the trades. He's already started putting some of the runs. You see here as well. He's put enough of the runs in place so that I can start doing the next step. Now, typically in our flat roof scenario, I like to start with the spray foam. Now, let's talk about that. When you think about spray foam, you think about insulation. You think about insulation, you think about that's the last thing you do after the rough-ins are installed. But just imagine this. I see this in a lot of houses. We see pot lights, we see sprinkler lines, we see HVAC, we see wires. Then once it's all inspected and ready for the installation to come in, the spray foam guy just starts spraying all over the ceiling, all over the wires, all the cans and stuff. It looks messy. And secondly, it's very difficult for the spray foam guy to reach behind the rough-ins. So what I like to do, before anybody comes in with their rough-ins, I spray all the open joist cavities, all the areas which require spray foam, all the ends, which are the most difficult areas to reach. That way, once the trades start their work, they can easily install their rough-ins below the spray foamed areas. So in the end, you have a nicely laid out rough-ins, you have a nice clean ceilings, and you don't have anybody bumping each other, and there's definitely no cutting and no interruptions of the spray foam. So now we've seen the inside of the house. Let's have a look at the garage foundation. I know foundation might not look like something you want to really brag about, but this is the first time I've seen, not even just my own jobs or anybody else's jobs, a really nicely detailed concrete foundation. Okay, check this out. All 4 corners of the foundation have this extra wedge-shaped corner coming out. And the reason why we have that is because on this design, this wall actually flares outwards in the corner, a little miniature flared out fin wall. The framers had built this straight down so that after you backfill, you'll still see a portion of the concrete that's the same shape as the fin wall. And that's gonna create a nice finish for a final product. We have it on the back side of the garage where the garage doors will be. So when you drive in, you're welcomed by this nice fin wall, a wedge-shaped fin wall. I can't wait to see the result and that thing's finished. Now, just to show you what a typical garage foundation or even a house foundation would look like, square. Just a square shape, very typical. On this one, we have an extra special design. Now that we have the garage foundation in place, it's time for the rainwater leaders and the drain tile. Now, same as the house, it's a good time to look at the plans, study how the roof line is, and find out where you want to place the gutters that come down to connect to the rainwater leaders. Because we know the garage works with a gable roof, it's going to be rainwater leaders on the 2 corners on the side, 2 corners on this side, pretty straightforward. So we'll double check with the plans and we'll get this place ready for the guys to come install the rainwater leaders tomorrow. Okay, well this is an easy one. No windows on the sides at all. So I just got to choose where it's more appropriate. I'm going to choose towards the front of the garage. That means towards the house. I'll put it on the side where we come in for about 3 feet or so. And I'll mark it all for the rainwater leader guys for tomorrow. So we know that it's going to be backfilled in the next couple of days. This is also a good time to start thinking about the slab that's going to go in. Okay, so when the machine is on site, he's going to start throwing gravel or he's going to start backfilling with dirt. And the last thing you want him to do is to go too high or too low, because it's going to require manual labor to level this area off for the next guy to come in, which is the rebar guy who will be doweling his rebar and doing his work. Now, to avoid any kind of inconsistencies in the heights, it's a good time to mark off the levels that we want him to fill the dirt to. So have a look at these 2 lines. The bottom one here is where the dirt level should be. This top line represents the top of the future concrete. This will be a 4-inch thick concrete. And note that the end here is beginning to the end there. We have a 2% slope for the slab. Gives us a total of 3-inch drop for any kind of water to flow out afterwards. This will give the excavator guy a good indication where to stop, because the last thing you want to do is to pull dirt out of here when it's just too high.